You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 28th of December, 2025. It is 7 days after the winter solstice. It is 82 days before the spring equinox. Tonight is the third night of Kwanzaa. By the traditional Japanese calendar, we are in the 15-day period named Toji, the winter solstice, and within that we are in the microseason known as Sawashika Notsu no Otsuru. Deer shed their antlers. The sun rises today at 7:19 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 11:57 a.m. The sun sets today at 4:36 p.m., civil twilight ends at 5:07 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 5:41 p.m. The length of daytime today is 26 seconds, longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 60% full at midday. The moon sets today at 12:33 a.m. The moon rises again at 11:56 a.m. The full moon will arrive on Saturday, the 3rd of January. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 4:09 a.m., 1 meter 40. In the morning, low tide, 10:26 a.m., 0 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:34 p.m., 1 meter 19. At night, low tide, 10:39 p.m., minus 6 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, 3 inches of snow on the ground, and the domestic dogs in the park are filled with delight. They run and gambol through the snow, their tails wagging wildly. Because the snow is a bit deep, they have to hop and jump as they leap through the unfamiliar white fluff that blankets the park. They seem to have a sense of wonder at the transformation of the park that is not unlike our own. Familiar landscapes completely reconfigured by the heavy coating of snow. The human toddlers and the dogs on their leashes dance and play in the unexpected, kind, cold element. It's a different energy, a different joy, than that which we experience in the summertime, a particularly wintertime pleasure. Commemorations. On this day in 1973, President Richard Nixon signed the Endangered Species Act into law. The act established protections for fish, wildlife, and plants that are listed as threatened or endangered, and it created a mechanism to designate species at risk. It also mandated the creation of plans for the recovery of endangered populations and tasked different government agencies to collaborate in implementing rescue efforts. Many species have been saved from extinction because of the act. Some of the best success stories are the bald eagle, the Florida panther, the gray wolf, the grizzly bear, the peregrine falcon, and the red-cockaded woodpecker. On this day in 1973, the Gulag Archipelago was published in Paris. The work by the dissident writer Alexander Solzhenitsyn documented the police-state system in the Soviet Union. Solzhenitsyn had to write the 3-volume book while under surveillance by the KGB. The manuscript was smuggled out of the Soviet Union to the West. Once it was published in France, it was translated into many languages. It was an important document of the mass incarceration and persecution that had taken place under Stalin, and whose machinery was still in place in the 1970s. Today we remember Guy Debord, born this day in 1931. The French theorist and author is best known for his 1967 essay, The Society of the Spectacle. In it, he examines how human experience in the age of radio and television had become mediated by these means of communication, skewing and distorting normal human relations. Having died in 1996, Debord never saw the Internet, but his analysis of mediated life rings all the more true in our own period, where more and more of our lives seem to exist through our screens and feeds. He would not be surprised that our governments and leaders communicate with us through tweets and memes. Remember Guy Debord today. We wish a happy birthday today to Denzel Washington, born this day in 1954. One of the great actors of our time, he needs no introduction. In fact, the site Rotten Tomatoes ranks 50 of his films from best to worst. That's 50 films. He has shaped our cinematic imagination. Once, when he was asked whether he thinks of Los Angeles or New York City as his hometown, he replied, "I root for the Knicks. I root for the Yankees." Which makes us love him all the more. Happy birthday, Denzel Washington. And finally, this third night of Kwanzaa honors the principle of Ujima, collective work and responsibility. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 28th of December, 2025.